People can have mishaps. This phone, this this phone does not stay connected to the Wi-Fi, and I am not sure why. So it had been sitting idle. Whenever it sits idle, if the screen locks, it'll just disconnect from the Wi-Fi. Um, Sometimes at night it'll stay on, and then sometimes it won't. And so that time it just didn't stay on. So welcome, 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 you guys. I hope y'all done had a good day. Y'all know if I'm gonna get up here and talk about myself, I'm gonna get up here and praise myself. Praise myself. Y'all see I ain't breathing hard. I ain't hot and sweating. And I had a challenge right before I got here. I done did food prep. I done made dinner for the night, done grub good, made videos for my other page with my dinner. Excuse me. Welcome, 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 you guys. I wash my nose with soap, so it just be after I wash it with soap. You would think I have a cold or my allergies acting up, but it's not. It's just my nose reacting to having soap in it. But when I was making my dinner and making my video for my dinner and saying that I was food prepping, making me the smallest pot of collards I have ever made. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smallest pot of collards I have ever made. Oh my God, I tasted them. They were amazing. Those collards were amazing. And I just went in there before I came live. And my landlord said, I don't know if you had anything on the stove cooking. She said, I turned it down because it smelled like it was burning. I said, I went over there. She said, they're kind of crisp. I was like, oh my God. I wanted to eat my collards until they were all gone. Oh my gosh. I have done so much. I have been doing so much today. I tell people, when people ask me what do I have planned for today, this day is just always packed. My day is packed anyway, but I'm off today. Generally, my day is packed because I'm at work 5 days a week, but I'm off today. But I make a day out of getting prepared to come live, and I do it. If I don't, y'all will see. Even when I do it, sometimes. Woo, buddy, how that turns out for me. Welcome, y'all. This is Sylvie 414. I am Sylvie, your forehead. I'm tired. Don't even think I ain't tired. I am Sylvie, your rough edge lady. And I hope y'all have had a wonderful day. I've had a wonderful day. I've been very productive today. That's what I was saying. Been very productive today. I've talked with my cousin about some things that we're setting up. I made use of my community page today. I actually made use of my community page last night for myself, but then I scrolled today and I saw a community post from one of the YouTubers that I watch, and I liked it. And then I noticed the arrow. That's how I came across community page. Like, I'm scrolling, and then I'm just like, okay, this is posts. These ain't videos. These are posts. My people posting stuff and stuff. So I'm like, I want to post stuff. I want to post stuff. But all the rules and regulations that I read said 500. And then my cousin sent me videos, and I've been really getting acclimated to being back to work after a couple of months, trying to be grown and hang out as well. And I was hanging out. God, I'm not going out at all this week. Because for the last 2 weeks, and I've been going out every week for the last probably 2 months, I've been going out, but I haven't been working. I thought I could be grown and still act like a youngin' and be trying to work. Then a church on Sundays, and the last Sunday I had to be church at 8 o'clock. So I thought, well, I had to be to church at 8 o'clock because God is funny, auntie. God is funny. So even though I wasn't supposed to be to church at 8 o'clock for the reason I thought, there was another reason that I was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. Because if I wouldn't have got there at 8 o'clock, I would have been late for that appointment. For me, on the prayer ministry, I normally get there around 9-ish on the after part of ish, not on the before part of ish. By the time I get there, the person that's opening up has already started praying. Yeah, last Sunday that person was me. I didn't ask for it. I just told somebody, you gotta stay ready. Be also ready. Because she got put on the spot the same way prior to me getting put on the spot. So what was I gonna say? No, God, I ain't gonna pray. I ain't gonna pray. No, I couldn't do that. So yes, churching, extracurricular. I have been exhausted. And I still don't feel like I have gotten the sleep that I probably need to get for the way I've been hanging out, but it's all good. Y'all know what it is. I got good meditation time in and prayer time in today. And I did not even get to nowhere near my hour. Like I didn't get even to half of my hour, but I said it was good time because I did 20 minutes of each. Where I normally go in 15-minute increments. I did 20 minutes meditation, 20 minutes prayer. But it was fervent. That's what made me say good. But even when it's fervent, let me get my two. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Welcome, y'all. So look, when their music started playing, the person inside of me, I don't care what style of music, what genre of music, however you want to put it. If there is something in that music that hits my body, it makes me want to move. And I don't know that I've ever heard music start playing in these solfeggio skills. I may have, but I called it out because it's weird to me. A lot of things have been weird today. Not bad weird, good weird. I called it out because it's weird to me because I wanted to jolt as soon as I heard that music. When I was down there, and I still got my candles going from meditation earlier. When I was down there meditating, I had a thought. I don't even remember what the thought was. But when I had that thought, the fire got so bright, I wanted to, it tried to jolt me up out of my zone. And I'm guilty of allowing distractions to jolt me out of meditation and find myself going back and saying to the Most High, I think it's something you wanted to do there. And I did not allow it because I allowed myself to get distracted. And although I may not have seen anything per se, there was something in me not being jolted both of those two times. That light was so bright from my candles that I wanted to wake up to see if something had fell in it and had caught on fire. And I kept myself in that space of meditation. It's powerful. Powerful. All right, y'all. So, we ain't even gonna delay the title of this jank. A New Truth. And I meant anew, not a new. I meant the word anew. So there was no space in between the a and the new, because I meant that word for anybody who may have said, oh, she forgot to put space there. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. A new truth. Let me go ahead on and read what Wale. So I was listening to the radio. I was in my friend's car listening to the radio. And a song came on, but I didn't know it was a song because the intro was just speaking. So it sounded as if it was like an infomercial or something. So I'm like, okay. Then the song came on. It was talking about marriage in some sense. And then the song came on. Excuse me. Well, actually, you heard the actual artist start to speak. It wasn't the artist speaking at first. Then the artist started speaking and explaining that marriage, unless you're going into it a second time, but if you're going into marriage for the first time, is something that you have never done before. Anything that's new is something that you have never done before. So the experience is going to be unknown. You can't know about what you've never done before. But if you're scared to do, I don't got no water in here. Hold up, y'all. I don't got enough water in here, and I do not want that lemonade. If you're scared to do what you maybe are supposed to do, or say something that you're supposed to say because you don't know what is beyond those words, or you don't know what's going to happen when you do that thing, where's the growth in that? Things are new because you grow from new experiences. You say things, you say new things, hopefully truthful things. You do new things, you meet new people because you want new experiences. And when you get new experiences, there should be growth in that. So if you're doing all these things and you're staying the same, I don't know how any of that's supposed to work. But Wale, the song is called Matrimony. It was really nice. I love Wale music anyway. Um, the intro again was speaking about growth being new and you not knowing or not being able to be ready because it's new. You can't. I remember I remember somebody telling me to prepare for my mom's passing because she had cancer and everything like that. And while I understood the concept of prepare, my thought process was, how do you prepare to lose your mother? Like, even if I've gone through death before, I've never lost my mother. It's going to be something new. And trust me, the Most High was teaching me something, even in that. Because, did I learn how to prepare a little better? And don't even get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Most High knows, as well as many people that I love and that love me, that death is still a challenge, but not like it was when someone was telling me to prepare for my mother's death. Come a long way. That is what this thing is about. Me and my peoples went to get some Chinese food the other night. His joint said, mine's over there on the bed. I don't feel like getting it, but his said that happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. A lot of people don't like to take that journey. They just think they're supposed to be happy, and if they're not happy, then they're just sad. They don't go out and try new things, try to meet new people, to look for the experience in the journey. That's what the night and day guys just said. They was talking about, I got it somewhere in here. I got it in here. What was the word? I got it in here. But basically talking about your day being can't say it. What I remember something. Mundane. They were talking about your day being mundane. They said maybe your day is mundane because you are not looking at it at the highest levels of trying to get everything that you can out of that day. To observe. We're here to observe. We're here to observe. We're here to learn new things. We're here to grow. I know what it feels like to be stuck. But I also know what it feels like to have gotten tired of being stuck. That's what this is all about. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I know what it feels like and can relate to some people that feel stuck and may not feel like they can ever move, but something in them wants to move. Now, if you just feel stuck and you just want the attention, the Lord has to work with me with those ones. Attention seekers, woe is me people. I ain't never did nothing wrong. I'm the best person out here. I don't need no work. I've never been that person. Never been that person. Just sometimes there was a time where it felt almost so difficult that it felt impossible. So I know what it feels like for somebody to feel like it's impossible for them to do something different. I just can't because God has made me the 414 person. Balance. I can't accept. I can't accept, and God has had to make me not hard on me because I can't accept when it's something that I struggle with that I know that I need to be doing better, and I don't get on top of it. I've had to, and shadow work says when you learn how to not be so hard on yourself, you learn how to not be so hard on others. And I want hard on others, and I was harsh. It was harsh. God had to give me a soft word, a soft answer turns away wrath. God had a Romans 2:1 me. I wasn't good enough with judge not lest ye be judged. God started hitting me with whenever you judge, I'm gonna hold you to the same measure. I'm gonna let you know you did that in some way, shape, or form. You did what you talking about them doing. I was like, dang, because that went on for years. Like the most I deal with me, the most I deal with me for years because sometimes I be hard headed. It just is what it is. I can't if I and then I. But yes, so truth is new, change is new, growth is new. And truth is new. When I say truth is new, it doesn't mean that it has to be a new truth. It means that if it's a truth that you did not know, it just became new to you. If it's a truth that you're not willing to accept or receive, it's still new at that point. You just have to decide if you're wanting to grow because we just said the purpose of, new things is growth. You don't know what's beyond there. But you don't want to stay where you at either. That's stagnate. Don't nobody want to be stagnate. But all right, y'all. But we're gonna talk about ANIMA tonight. The Most High brought me full circle has been my phrase. Full circle has been my phrase. The Most High brought me full circle on ANIMA. I thought I was supposed to start this thing, and I talked about ANIMA when I got that word and realized what it meant when I was playing that game so many years ago, 5 years ago, when I first got ANIMA. Because if I don't know what it means, I just told my girlfriend last Saturday. I said, I got to, because she showed me she be playing the game, and I know I have to put mine up because I'm on like level 13,000 and some change. She thought I was only talking about 4 numbers because she's on 4 numbers. She like 1,300. No, baby, I ain't mean 1,300. I'm on 13,000. They are so repetitive at this point. I don't get rarely, but I got a new word. And I was telling her that I had never gotten that word before. That's how it was with ANIMA. When I first saw it, it was new. It was going to bring me to growth. It was going to bring me to right here because full circle. I just talked about it a lot because it was fascinating. And I was just like, whoa, Lord, this is a word I ain't never heard of. But I took psychology courses. I've taken sociology courses. Like the Most High knows that I love people. I want people to be better if they genuinely want to be better. If you don't want to be better, then you really have no room to complain about anything. I mean, you can because you're able, but you have no room, and it's going to be a remnant of people that's not going to want to hear it. I just made a post about people that feel like it's okay to live a lie. Do you understand that people can see your truth? It's discerning people that can see right through your lies. They can see your truth. You think you be lying to people and you be lying to you? No bueno. No bueno. So I said full circle because the Most High has been doing a lot in my life full circle. And even up to and including that prayer, excuse me, that prayer that I got called to I had to be obedient, so God won't whoop my tail last week. And that hit me today. I said, God, you snatched God didn't snatch the gift of prayer from me. But what the Most High wanted to do with me by way of prayer could not happen in me the way that I was then. And God knew that I was a praying sister, not bragging, just so. I was at a retreat, a women's retreat, with this church. I say this because when I point out my window, the church is like literally right around the corner. God won't play it when God asked me to go back to church. God told me to go back to church. Y'all supposed to be back to church. Probably should have been back almost a year by now. Been back for about 4 months. But when I knew God did, when I say God snatched prayer from me, that I can't put it any better way. I felt the power. Hear me when I say it. I felt physically power leave me because God knew. I felt the power because God knew that my head was going to get big if it would have allowed me to go forward at that particular time. Snatched the power of prayer right out of me, and it got to the point I didn't stop praying, but I didn't feel like I was feeling when I was praying prior to, and I didn't realize at that point. I couldn't even understand or fathom how God could say I was going to be big-headed. But God knows those little inklings that you don't even want your mind to, you don't even want, you be like, Lord, take that back right quick. I'm just going to be, I don't know, take that back real quick. I wasn't supposed to think that. I don't know if it was something like that. Because I believe that it can be, that's what this Carl Jung's ANIMA shadow work, that's what this is all about, the subconscious mind. I was getting ready to say, I don't even know if it could have been something even more in the subconscious, but the Lord knew. You don't be a little big-headed, you don't be a little lot big-headed. You can't do this right now. You can't do this right now. And I struggled with prayer from that day, and that was 2010 or 11, something like that. From that day till last Saturday. Last Sunday. And the only reason that I say last Sunday is not because I felt like the power was back. Because when I got up there, when I got put on the spot to pray and open up service, the whole time I was up there praying, I was like, oh, Lord, don't feel right. Don't feel right. But I said that once before, and it came from a fleshly place where God wanted me to keep doing it. It was prayer then too. It was prayer then too. I didn't even realize it till I just started telling the story. And I didn't, because I said it didn't feel right. I said it didn't feel right the whole time in my mind. And I kept praying. I kept praying. And I finished. I said, it is so. And I walked through the church. So I had one of the prayer warrior's phones. I was trying to catch him before he left out of the church because he was leaving. I didn't even know he was leaving. He was leaving. So I was running to get him his phone. So it was people that were trying to talk to me on the way out, and I couldn't stop. But as I was going back in, there was a gentleman standing on the door, manning one of the doors, and he stopped me. And he said, Y'all, I'm getting overwhelmed right now. He stopped me and he said, that prayer flowed out of you just as if it was second nature or something to that effect. I'm not quoting him verbatim. That prayer flowed out of you as if it was second nature. He said that made me know it was from God. He said, you hear people get up and pray sometime and just stumble over their words. He said, what that thing flowed out of you. And all I could do was say, thank you, and just praise God, because I did not know I was going to pray. And I felt like I was horrible. and I wish I could stop. I wish I could have stopped, but I wasn't going to stop, because that's a big church. And that was the people pleasing that God has removed from me. That's a big church. I was like, hey. But more so than it being a big church, it was, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if I don't finish this prayer? I don't think that's going to turn out very well for me. I don't want it. I don't want it. So the same way that prayer, I said that to say that it was that church that I was at that women's retreat with. God brought me back to that church to bring me back to a corporate prayer in a sense, because I pray. I never stopped praying from that day until when it just got really awkward feeling. It did not feel like there was any power. Maybe God knew that what my definition of power wasn't matching what its definition of power was. I don't know, but full circle. Same thing with ANIMA. When I got it and I knew it was supposed to be a part of this platform, I talked about it for a little bit, and it was like, Most High deterred some things. Now, I didn't leave from Carl Jung. I just when I started looking up ANIMA, I came across the shadow. And it was like the Most High hit my spirit and says, go there first. So I did that shadow. And after I left the shadow, I went into persona. And I said that persona and that ANIMA, they go hand in hand. And guess what? We're not going to talk about that tonight, but the article basically tells you the ANIMA and the persona. Did I do ANIMA and persona? I don't know. I might have some of that in there tonight. I don't know. But they go hand in hand. And I told you, the persona don't have to be bad. Just like I said last week, just like with guns and with money, the persona cannot do anything without the person that carries it around. Can't do anything in and of itself. A gun is not going to shoot itself. I promise it's not. And money is not going to get up and do nothing evil. Just like nature. Whatever nature does needs to be done. I don't care if it's a storm. Whatever nature does needs to be done. Whatever your body does needs to be done. Do you call yourself evil? Because now God wants you to understand the balance between good and evil, because as good as you may think that you only are, I'd say if you think you're only good, that might make you more evil than the rest of us. I'm just saying. So let's get into this ANIMA. How about that? So, ANIMA is both a personal complex. A personal complex. Hold up. Holla. Pin your ass back and catch it. This for y'all men, but this for y'all ladies too. Don't get it twisted, because the platform for us ladies. But the men need to catch this one. Ladies, I say you catch it, because ANIMA works both ways. So whatever I'm saying to him, turn it around and apply it to you. Thank you. And please Anemia is both a personal complex, and in parentheses, after personal complex, obsession, phobia. Listen to these words. Y'all know I love words. Fixation, preoccupation, neurosis. I told y'all, you can't do it on your own, Sylvie. Is not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Go get help. But if you can learn to exhibit self-control, you want to. Neurosis. The Most High said, He. This one is for the male version of he, not the human race like he, him, her, it. Not that he. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear. So, did you hear all those words, guys, men, young men, old men, little people about to be men? Because that page has 13-year-olds on it. As my subscribers, hey y'all, this page has 13-year-old subscribers. I hope y'all mamas and daddies know that y'all is subscribed on YouTube. And I need to go check that. Because y'all might be interfering in my money. And this ain't. And the Most High knows that I ain't buying no money, but my page can't be for children. So y'all gonna have to get permission to watch it on your parents, because it can't be saying 13 in there, I don't think. But anywho, all those words: obsession, phobia, fixation, preoccupation, neurosis. Anemia is both a personal complex. A complex means an issue you have with, somebody say they got a complex. You got a complex. You got a complex about the way you look. You got a complex about your skin. You got a complex about your shoe size. You got a complex about your weight. So it's a personal complex and an archetypal image of woman in the male psyche. So this is an issue you have, and then it's a picture you have. So you got an issue, then you got a picture of how we're supposed to be. You got a whole issue, because none of those words were good words. And only the man who desires to grow is going to get it and catch it. I can't make you want it. I can only tell you what the truth be. The truth is something new. It brings growth. If you let it. Obsession, that means you are crazy about it. Phobia, that means you are scared of it. Fixation, that means you are stayed on it. Preoccupation, that means you can't do without it. Everything you be trying to do, oh my God, here come a woman, I got this. Neurosis, that means your brain is affected by it, baby. I like words. I ain't had to go look none of those up. Ooh, I ain't had to go look none of those up. You feel me? But anywho. And I don't know, but I think we're going to finally be pinned at ANIMA for a little bit, because the Most High brought it full circle. We're going to be pinned. I think ANIMA is the Most High says stick a pin in it, because it's important and people don't want to understand. And ladies, don't get it twisted. That means that you obsession with men, phobia, fixation, preoccupation, neurosis. When you're talking ANIMA, you're talking about the feminine side, the psychological feminine side of a woman, of a man, and the psychological masculine side of a woman. And that thing can be unbalanced to either direction. You can have too much brawn or brute, or what seems to be not enough. And the Most High and I just talked today about not enough, not looking at all like having to be homosexual or having to be a simp. Because I've known situations where you would have never looked at that man. When you, I don't know if I copied and pasted that, but it speaks about the man being under his wife's slipper. You hard as a out there. You under your wife's slipper. You might look like you hard as out there. You under your wife's slipper because she is running things. And don't ever get it twisted. The way some of y'all think that things should be run. It's not how it should be run. That's why your ANIMA is too far over here. But she's not supposed to run things. No, lady. She's not supposed to run the house. Not supposed to run the house. Maybe from the background. Same. You know. He's supposed to be able to learn and grow from you and all of that good stuff. But it's never a day that he's supposed to feel like he under your slipper. That's what the article is. He's just never supposed to feel like he under your slipper. And if he has said that to you, you might not even want to think about checking for a common denominator, but it's highly likely. I just called 414. I done called 414 on this YouTube, on this laptop, the past 3 lives that I have done. But that's 40. It was 41 minutes and 40 seconds. But I ain't going to be up here much longer for real. I don't have a lot. I'm just going to read this information about ANIMA, talk about my little stuff I got to talk about, and be out. But I just want y'all to get it in your brain that men don't have to look like what a lot of men, especially these men, are going to think that thing. Boy, I see that cut. Oh, that's because she lifting them 5 pounds. I see that cut. Yes, man. She look. And I done took myself up on a 3,000 squat challenge for the month of November. And I'm a little behind. I'm like 100. At this point, I'm 130 behind because I did 10 on what I was behind. The first 3 days, I didn't do 100. I did about like 50 to 60 each day. But these last 4 days, I've done 100 because only 3 days I didn't do 100. So 4 days I've done 100 because it's the 7th. Yes, sir. But I saw that little, obviously definition trying to build. And I had gotten, when I lost weight the first time, when I say my arms had gotten so defined, you couldn't tell me nothing. But anywho, back to the matter at hand. We're talking ANIMA. It's not too many. I just watched the video today. I was going to say it's not too many people that's going to want to take it in, men or women. And it creates problems. You think that it just creates problems with women, men, and men, women. No, it creates relational problems with people because you're going to treat people in a certain way based off of how you feel or this image that you have about women. It's just so, I like it. I like it. I mean, I don't like it for us, but I like the way that the article breaks it down. I can only give what it gives me, and you be there to take it if you're going to take it. And if you ain't, then you just ain't. It is what it is. It says there is in man an image, not only of the mother, but of the daughter, the sister, the beloved, the heavenly goddess. We got a lot. We got a lot to live up to in y'all minds, man. And I should have tried to figure out what the word was going to mean before then. The Chothnik Babo, not what it was going to mean, but how to pronounce it. It's spelled CHTH. Where they do that at? CHTH. Onic. So it's Thonic. So Chthonic. I guess it's Chthonic. Chthonic Babo. She was a goddess of mirth. She was She dealt with sexual matters in a comical way, it said, and she was sexually liberated. She was the mother of Persephones. I've heard of Persephones before. So so y'all also feel like women is supposed to think sex is funny and give it to you anytime they want it. Anytime. And oh my lord. I laugh, but it's the truth. As I've come to know it, as I have begun to really encompass this solar plexus. You feel me? Nigga, they be something else, y'all. I ain't make up. I ain't do none of that because I was y'all get it natural. I took my hair down out of my little Bantu knots. I said, Lord, I ain't make up, so the least I can do is just take my hair down, make it look a little, get a little bit. That part. But to continue. So yeah, you want to think it's funny, you just want to give it up whenever you say you want. You want us to live up to all of the images that you have in your head of what you feel like the female species should be. Every mother and every beloved is forced to become the carrier and embodiment of the omnipresent and ageless image which corresponds to the deepest reality in a man. I just said that. I said, you want us to live up to ooh. And that, if you want to search it out, comes from I'm not going to pronounce it, but I'll spell it SYZYGY, ANIMA and ANIMAS, because I be making sure that I know where my sources is. So if you want to go and read up on what I'm reading up on, you can do that as well. So ANIMA is personified in dreams by images of women ranging from seductress to spiritual guide. Pretty sure there's a whole heap of things in there. Don't forget that I'm talking to y'all too, ladies. Because it is some ladies that feel like theirs, but not just saying it again. Do what you do, then, God. Do what you do. It is some ladies that I remember watching wife swaps like that with women that felt like they were just supposed to do absolutely nothing, and the husbands ran around that jank like slaves. And I was just like, oh. Because I know that, not I said the cat, I couldn't, like, that couldn't be me. Like, I don't knock anybody if that's the husband that you choose, but as I stated, that would fit that definition as to being under your wife's slipper. Because your wife not supposed to run you. Like, she's not supposed to run you and make you feel like you're under her slipper. That doesn't even sound good coming out. When I read that part, I was like, oh, why would somebody want to be under somebody's slipper? Welcome. Why would somebody want to be under somebody's slipper? Like, what do you? There, I'm gonna just weigh that one right there. So you're looking for everything from a seductress to a spiritual guide. It's associated with the Eros principle, and that's why I said I believe that the Most High is going to stick a pin in ANIMA, because it's so much that surrounded Euros. I came to the word logos when I first looked up ANIMA, and if you know anything about logos is associated with Christianity. It means the word. And God brought it back to me. And this article mentions logos and eros and all of that, but we're not gonna go deep in that today. We're not gonna go deep. Um, Hence, a man's ANIMA development is reflected in how he relates to women within his own psyche. The ANIMA functions as his soul, not, but sometimes men use other places to think and so that ANIMA is acting as that soul, as that other, place acts as the brain. I'm just saying. Influencing his ideas, attitudes, and emotions. His ideas, attitudes, and emotions. But a natural archetype that satisfactorily sums up all of the statements of the unconscious, of the primitive mind, of the history of language and religion. Do you know how many men that I have heard speak about why you don't like the King James version of the Bible because it's primitive? But it says that ANIMA is dealing with a primitive mind. And since I have done the research to know that 15% of the population of people, only 15% of the, only 15% of people who say that they self-analyze, truly self-analyze. So the other 85% don't truly do it. ANIMA, y'all. ANIMA. You don't want to be called certain things that the Bible call you, but you want to hold on to whatever primitive thought processes you have, primitive attitudes you have about language and religion. It deals with your moods, your reactions, and your impulses. ANIMA intensifies, exaggerates, falsifies, and mythologizes all emotional relationships with his work and with other people of both sexes. And I said it earlier because I said it earlier before I got to this part of the story. I said it's not just going to affect your relationship with a woman, it's going to affect all your relationships because it's affecting your attitude. You probably think it just affects your attitude with women. It's affecting your relationships too, baby. It's neurosis. Excuse me. And as I was going through that, Night and Day guys was talking about divine feminine energy. I was watching one of them, still watching it. It's on my other screen. About they're talking about Kyrie and Kanye. And we're gonna talk about some of the things that they was discussing. But they, at this point in my study, they were discussing divine feminine energy. So without being said, we're gonna talk about ecclesiastical, societal, and political oppressors. And we did not really have a political oppressor. But as far as the ecclesiastical and societal, well, excuse me, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because where was it at? Okay. So I have two as far as political is concerned. So now everybody's on Kyrie Irving because he's gotten suspended. And so Charles Barkley comes out and says he should have been suspended. He should have gotten suspended because his boss was Jewish. I would just love for someone to tell me what Kyrie Irving and Kanye West said about Jewish people that made them get suspended and lose money. If you want to come up here and comment on that, like, share, subscribe, please like, share, subscribe. You want to come up here and comment on that? I would love to know what they did. Because I have said, just because people seem to retract does not mean that they are not telling the truth. Night and Day guys were talking about that today too. Just because people retract and begin to apologize does not mean that they're not telling the truth. Does not mean that they're not telling the truth. And they talked about it from a place of strategy, because they're saying that they've teamed up, both Kyrie and Kanye West. But what is it that was said that should have got you, that made you get suspended because your boss was Jewish? And I haven't even done the research on Kyrie Irving, but I've listened to a podcast that says that all he did was share the documentary that was on Amazon. So here we go again. Did Amazon get checked? Did Adidas lose money? So everybody is on the defensive. And if you want to say you was canceling Kanye for Kim, and you was canceling Kanye for George Floyd, what was you canceling Kyrie Irving for prior to now? Now, I don't follow him as a basketball player. Maybe he's been outspoken like this before, but I'm asking the question. What was you canceling Kyrie Irving for prior till now? Because I wasn't hearing his name on none of the podcasts that I watch. I hear some of these sports figures' names who be out here wilding out over the years. I know about the dude in Dubai. Now, I know about Ocho Cinco. I hear the name. I know about Daryl. I can take you back. Even though I don't watch sports, I can, because you're going to hear that stuff. I don't just hear Kyrie Irving's name. So you don't get to have an opinion about something that deals with your boss's origin or religion. You don't get to have an opinion. You don't get to share a documentary. You don't get to share a documentary. You don't get to have an opinion. Truth can only be truth unless it don't step on toes. That's the First Amendment right. Let's not get that twisted. That's your First Amendment right. Truth is the truth. Is the freaking truth. It does not matter. And it does not matter who tells it. And if you're supposed to tell the truth, just imagine the Most High told you to come out and say what Kanye or Kyrie Irving said. Many of you is saying that you wouldn't say it because it'll make you lose your bag, but you will swear up and down you got a relationship with the Most High. And what? I said it. I was so nice about it when I said it. Because God said I have to be nice. Because that's all that statement from Charles Barkley said. You're losing your money. So you're losing your money because you're going to talk about them. So you might as well just get suspended because you're losing your money because you're going to talk about them anyway. Not all. That's probably a true documentary. And you got to take that because, you stepped across them lines. You got to take that. I'd rather hear somebody say that. You got to take that because you stepped across them lines. Than to make somebody seem crazy because they telling the truth. Because the other political oppression is night and day talking about people who feel like, because I know my old supervisor, spiritual. And I done said that about spiritual people that have so much offense for the world of Christianity. never been a Christian. I ain't never read the Bible. Christians this and Christians that, and Christians hold your mule, hold your mule. Because this thing can go both ways. Hold your mule. But I said all of that to say, you ain't did no self-analyzing either. Because it's all about you. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're a spiritualist. I don't care if you're a Buddhist. I don't care if you're a Quranist, a Muslim. I don't care if you're a Zoroastrian. It all comes back to you, boo. What you gonna do about you? Who loving you? You loving you? It's all about you. And if you're not willing to do that work, I don't care what religious path you take, because I stand firm on the fact that spiritualism is religion as well when you're just doing religious things and you are not doing growth. That part. So, I'm going to figure something out. I have more stability because I got money. So I ain't have to use my broke tripod. But now I'm back to looking at two screens. And so I have to get it back to where everything is in line. But anywho, it be comme ci comme ça for now. So they were saying that we are put on this earth as a species, as a human race, and it's crazy because I talked to the Most High. I was supposed to be plugging that in. I better do that. Well, no, I should be good. It just did it the first time. I should be good. I'm almost finished. But basically, they were saying if you are one that refuses to look in the Bible, that's not a good thing. Because all of these books are here, even though there may be lies in them, there may have been books removed and added and all of that good stuff like that. They talked about that Catholic Church that I be saying that the Christians ain't supposed to be following because they, what did they say? Let me see. Did they say they came into something about the Council of Nicaea? I got everything. I don't think I did. Oh, but it was saying, I think it was saying when the Romans and the Greeks became in charge, that was under the Council of Nicaea. Like, I think it was Alexandria. I could be wrong, but do your research. Under the Council of Nicaea. When they became, that's how the Catholic Church got involved in the I'm sorry, y'all, I'm distracted. Catholic Church got involved in Christianity basically and started removing books out of the Bible. Now I said last week, the woman at the shelter, because that she was blown. She was blown. That's why I can't let it go. And she didn't look like me. When I told her about that apocrypha, she left that shelter and never came back. Sound like ecclesiastical oppression? You take books out of the Bible. You tell people anything that went on prior to biblical days is wrong. Even though there was stuff that happened. Just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see what we got for ecclesiastical oppressor. Oh, that was ecclesiastical oppressor. What did I say? Political oppressor? That was ecclesiastical oppressor. So see? Oh, so look, we good. Because I done did ecclesiastical and political. Look, they said about ecclesiastical, they said the truth is scattered like a puzzle. You got to pick everything apart, including religions. I have said on my platform that I'm supposed to be reading in the Quran. I have been called to the Apocrypha. I ain't just went out there and I didn't even know nothing about no Apocrypha. And I promise you, if there wasn't a confirmation over the last 20 some odd years that this book has been coming to me, it was confirmation when Henry Williams came to me and asked me about that book. That is old school religion. He is old school religion. So for him to ask me about the Apocrypha, and my family know how I get down, but my family know I love God. Look, you've been following me long enough, you know how I get down. I done got down on my lives before, so it is what it is. It is what it is. They said says that life becomes, that was when they were saying too mundane. So I said that already. Look, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Their page is about duality. It's night and day. There's a sun and a moon. They tell you about good. They talk about good and evil. Look, they said you can use water to cook for somebody, to wash somebody, or to drown somebody. The earth itself or nature is not wicked. It's people and intentions. When somebody said nature was wicked, no. So Most High is in charge. They said the Most High is in charge of nature. People, people, not nature, not guns, not money. People. But you don't want to look at people though. Y'all want to, unless you're saying the man. Let me give you another nuke. I had to hit my babies with this. Because the night and day guys seem to think when I hit them with this like this on purpose. Talked about capitalism. I said, this is not about racism. This is about capitalism. And the Most High said it to me by saying, don't make it a black thing. That was years ago. I said, this is not about racism. This is about capitalism. She starts in, because when she feels her fire, I call her Mini-Me 3000 for a reason. When she feels her fire, there's nothing I can say to stop her. So I say that if you don't understand that racism, capitalism is stemmed by racism at the highest point, I said the night and day guys seem to think that the people at the top look like us. They seem to think that I'm not even gonna go into. I'm just gonna tell you what they saying to think. They saying to think ain't nobody wise enough. That's their opinion. Ain't nobody wise enough more than us. So just say it's so. You can't call it racism at that point. You can't call it racism at that point. What you gonna do then? If your mind is not willing to think about another way, another thing, if you just stuck in one thought process, that ain't never gonna be good. Your mind has to be open to another thought process. I don't care if you're a Christian or not a Christian, but I would say especially if you're a Christian. Oh, okay. So I did record it. He said that you should be looking toward getting an Ethiopian Bible or the Septuagint, which is the most untouched. And all I can say is, God, that's why you give me the King James right now. And I know people say what they say about the King James, and everything like that. People gonna say what they say about the New Testament, but those of that apocrypha was before the New Testament. It's a demographic of people that just don't trust or believe in the New Testament of the Bible. But I know that many of scripture that I go in and read and study in this King James refer to that Septuagint. That's why I said you gave me the closest thing right now. I intend on a Hebrew and a Ethiopian Bible. Can I just say I made a phone call today to where did I make that phone call to? Was it to try to get transportation to go vote? And if it sounded like a demon came across that phone. It sounded like a demon came across that phone when I was doing my studying today. I'm going to Strong's Exhaustive. Every time I went into a page, I got a whole bunch of foreign lettering, and then it would skip to the page. It did it every time I went into that page. When I say that, I was like, what the? Well, there's a whole demon on this line. I'm waiting on her. What the? All I could do was, this has been a day. That's why I said it was good, because all day it's been that meditation and that prayer just took me over the top. My heart didn't race one time. Y'all have to understand that this, especially when I feel like I'm running late. And I was running a little late today. I was a little late. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, oh yeah, he had the Catholic Bible came out of the Council of Nicaea, but the Catholic Bible got some things and some stuff in it too. So it's almost like you're following blindly. If you're following and you're not even looking at none of their Bibles to see what's going on in their Bibles. So I hear that their Bibles tell some truths that people who follow them want to deny. I'm believing more and more about that put it in a book thing. Put it in a book thing. They talked about let's see where I'm at. Oh, they talked about I don't know if my train of thought. I am so tired, y'all. I thought that the tired was gone, but it really is not gone. Charles Barkley talking about you ain't gonna take my money and talk about my religion. He's not taking their money first and foremost. That's just because I just read past that. He's not taking their money. He's earning it first and foremost. And if I'm earning my money, I really do have the right to watch and share whatever I want to watch and share. If you don't want it shared, get it off Amazon. But if you want to keep shutting people down because they're questioning your motives, why would they have to question your motives? Why would they have to question your motives? All right, so let's do a little bit of societal and then we're going to get out of here. So there was a strawberry letter. That was on November the 1st. I ain't even going to do the pressure washer one because I felt a ways about that by the end of it. But this first strawberry letter, and I'm not big on Steve Harvey. The Most High has me in a season of take the meat and leave the bones. And with that taking the meat and leaving the bones, I am finding that I am in agreement with men that I can't stand. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't really have too much that I agree with Steve Harvey on in this day and time. But we listening to the strawberry letter, and the man had a major weight loss and a major promotion. vice VP of something at the hospital. She done had a weight loss and a promotion. So your wife is like, okay, baby, let me go get you a suit. And she go get her baby a $400 suit. And he go to work and he start wearing this suit. And then the nurses, they start paying him some attention. And so he want to go out and he want to give him some more suits because he like the attention. Ladies, we done lost weight. We done lost weight. I lost weight. And let me tell you, the Most High threw that weight back at me that first time because in liking the attention, there was associated with it a vanity that God is not stuck. And so God told me I wasn't ready. But I knew what it felt like to feel good. That man feel good. He just lost that weight and he got a promotion. And his wife appreciated it and acknowledged it by buying him a suit. And it said they started getting it. Oh, no. She's saying all this. She's doing the strawberry letter. So he done, and it done did something in him for you. But you mad because the women outside is paying him some attention too. Come on. Well, wouldn't you want them to pay him some attention? If he coming home and doing you like you said he did you on that phone, like, evidently it must not have been going down like that prior to the weight loss. Because you had to mention it on a strawberry letter. And Shirley was ready to go to bat for her. We have this thing out here going on right now. That's where the ANIMA hits the women. Where we just want to have this, we just going to cap for these women. We just going to cap. We just going to cap. She's just going to be right because she a woman. I cannot, Dawn. I cannot. Dawn, I cannot. I cannot cap for man, woman, or child who does wrong. There's always a learning lesson and an opportunity for growth, the new thing. When you do wrong. I'm just saying. I was in agreement with Steve. If the man came home and gave you reason to think that he was out there doing some old crazy stuff, you mad because the girl done tell him, older men look nice with their beards grown out because he wanted to grow his beard out now. She was complimenting him. But you never said in your strawberry letter that you was complimenting him. You said he lost the weight. You said he got the promotion. You said you went and bought him a suit. You said he was putting it down on you like he was supposed to. Nowhere in there did you say, I was complimenting him, so she didn't have to. You didn't say that, baby. You gotta treat the man right. You gotta treat the man right. Period. And if he's saying that you're not treating him right, you have to at least, I stand 10 toes down on that. I have a whole cousin that's calling me on a regular basis, telling me, well, my cousin is her husband. But she my cousin because she been my family forever. Calling me, talking about that. And I'm telling you that he has an issue with you. You can't change what you're saying about him. You can only decide if you're going to stay or leave. But what are you going to do about the issue that he says about you? You just going to stand on your issue because he's standing on his? Because you're supposed to be self-evaluating anywho, regardless. Whether you're married or not, whether you're going through problems or not, self-analysis should be happening every day. And I'll also go back to the fact that how many of us are out there taking marriage lessons? Drake in persona. Lovely T said, and look, it was just a I don't know if it was a YouTube video after I watched Lovely T or a TikTok video that was talking about Drake trying to be something that he's not. Because I watch so many podcasts that's doing celebrity gossip and everything, they out here gossiping about the things that go on with Puff Daddy. Seems to me to be the new Hugh Hefner, but in a whole different kind of way. But probably not really a different kind of way, because I'm certain that you could not even think about the things and fathom some of the things that went down in Hugh Hefner's place. Said all that to say that Drake be associated with Puff Daddy. So if you're hiding something and you have this persona that you this ladies' man and all this, and I'm the man, or the ladies want me and all that stuff like that. If you're ANIMA, it said that you're ANIMA. Oh my God. It's strongly constellated. Do you know what that means? Do you know what the constellation is? I kept going to look for a definition that wasn't. I knew what constellation meant. If your ANIMA is strongly constellated, it's wrong one way or another. One way or another. It's not balanced. It should not be strongly constellated. And when she said that, I had already said, Lord, ANIMA and persona tie in. That to me backed it up. And then I went and read a little further in the article where it begins to talk about ANIMA and persona. Roseanne also spoke on okay, I'm about to be done. Roseanne also spoke on my battery dying, y'all. Roseanne also spoke on the Night and Days podcast. She was speaking about all of the craziness that's going on in Hollywood. And they was like separation. I told y'all, God told me don't make it a black thing. When they said it, I said all my life, ever since I ever watched Roseanne, and you never thought of Roseanne as racist. It was never a time that I thought of Roseanne as racist. And once everything came out, like I didn't do one way or another at that point. I wasn't really watching her at that point or anything like that. But I wasn't like, oh my God, I hate Roseanne. But I know that there were a lot of people that was just like they put her down. And if you're saying racist, that means that it was a lot of black people. So that's still separation. If she became a racist just because she did not agree with what was going on where the big money is, that's all that keep happening. When you don't agree with what's going on where the big money is at, things start to blow up around you. So tell the truth as long as it don't affect the big money. Then you lie. Is that how y'all feel about that? Because that is not how I feel about any of it. The Lord knows that I don't like lies. Bread and circuses. Night and Day told me to go look up bread and circuses. So I'm going to drop that right there for y'all. And I'm going to let y'all go look up bread and circuses. And see if you fit that bill. One more thing and I'm out. One of the things that Roseanne said is you can't say certain things about certain people, what I just said. Without the fear. You can't say anything about a Democrat, she said, without somebody assuming that you're a Republican. Lovely T said, y'all want to defend the music execs or trying to fight for the right to get it to be illegal for you to use the terrible lyrics that they have just spewing all throughout this music. They want you to be able to rap about anything you want to and it not affect you, whether it's truth or not. But then if I don't call you the right pronoun, I'm going to get canceled. But we can keep rapping about all of this nonsense and foolishness that make people whose mindsets are not high enough go out there and make some poor choices. But then in essence, you're saying if we hurt someone's feelings by something we might not know, because if you look like a man, I can't imagine that I'm going to walk up to you and say, I'm probably just going to say hello. But I'm not going to say hello, what's your pronouns? I'm not. I'm never going to just say hello, what's your pronoun? If we get into conversation or communication, I may ask someone, but if I say hello, Mr. So-and-so, I'm just probably going to say hello, Mr. So-and-so, or hello, sir. I'm probably just going to say hello, sir. If you look like a man, I don't know. It's just what it is. I said all that to bring me to Zaya's mom speaking out. Zaya's mom is not saying that she does not want Zaya to experience life. Zaya's mom is not saying that she does not want Zaya to do what it is that she wants to be happy. Zaya's mom is saying that Zaya is a child that cannot go in the military, a child that cannot go into the store and buy alcohol, a child that if it was a girl and R. Kelly was involved, he would be in jail. So a child can't do any of those things. But then a child can make the decision to go through with a whole sex change? That is psychology if I ever heard it. Come on now. Come on now. Adults got to go sit in the chair before they do that. A child don't even understand what sitting in the chair. Ask me how I know. A child don't even understand what the concept of sitting in the chair is. That baby locked up when she went to the chair and spilled everything out to me because I made her feel like she was in a comfortable place to talk because she was a child. And she wasn't aware that she could have told that therapist those same things. But I'm the person that say your therapist need to be sitting in the chair. And the way she explained her therapist to me, she won't sit in the chair, so I won't mad at her. She won't sit in there, you sitting up there doing nervous things. You got nervous twitches and shit. He's got to have his parents' permission. She's his parent. She has the right to stand up and talk. This is where you're going to come and we're going to talk about ecclesiastical, political, and societal oppression. And then I'm going to ask you to check yourself and see if you are guilty of any of it. Because as I stated about my vision, it starts with you. Then it's going to move outward to your family. Because once you're looking at you in a balanced way, you'll be able to handle your family in a more balanced way. And then you can move out into the community. What you want to do is whatever it takes to get out of this delusional place or this strongly constellated ANIMA. Ladies and gentlemen, I love y'all, and I am out.